Okay, welcome back to yoga. I am Zoe. Today I have for us a 30-minute strength and balance flow. So I suggest some blocks for this class, although they're not necessary if you don't want them. I just, with strength and balance classes, it's always nice to have something a little extra to balance on. We're going to begin this class as we normally do with a little opening meditation. I was really needing some strength and balance, so if you see me wobble a little in this video, just know it's totally natural. Maybe you'll be wobbling too. All right, we're just going to begin by clearing our head here, allowing ourselves to find our breath and deepen or lengthen that breath. Allowing yourself just for the next half hour or so to let go of all the duties of your day. You don't need to bring any of the stress or the worry or fear into the next little while. Just leave them at the door. Maybe finding an intention or a mantra for your class. If you're feeling uninspired, we'll just use the mantra, I will leave class feeling balanced. Maybe that means physically or maybe spiritually, emotionally, whatever balance is to you. We'll begin our class with some neck rolls here, so no real structure to this movement, just making sure we find some rolls through both sides. We switch directions at some point. And of course, if we feel tension along the way, go ahead and stop, pause for a couple breaths, sending some energy to that point of tension, and then keep on moving. Also, I hope you can forgive the randomness of the background. We just moved, so things are still getting set up here. Next, we're going to roll out through our wrists. Again, no structure to this, but wrists are really, maybe overlooked, but super essential part of the balance that our body needs. So anytime we push up off something or use that arm strength, we need to really make sure that we're focusing on those wrists too to avoid injury. And next, we'll just come through some seated cat-cows here. So on that exhale, we'll roll our back, dome our back. On that inhale, we'll bring our chest proud, back slightly arched here. As we go through this motion, we bring our gaze with us. So as we dome that back for cat, bring that gaze to the ground. As we find that proud chest for cow, bring our gaze forward. Next, we're going to move through some side twists here. So bringing that left hand over to our right knee. Right hand sneaks around our side or around back. Just find a gentle twist to that right side. Make sure that gaze comes with you, bringing that neck to the same side. Same thing other side here. This time we'll invite that right hand to left knee, left hand around back or to our side. And again, bring that gaze with us, making sure we're just keeping up with our breath here. This is all still slow, controlled movement, Really the whole class will be, so the whole time we should be able to keep up with our breath, keep grounded. Remember, you can always find stillness at any point you need it. We're going to go ahead and find our way to a boat pose here. So letting our sit bones find the mat. Option 1, we'll just go ahead and lean back with our feet still on the mat here. Option 2, find a block, place it under our feet so that we can lean back just a little farther, engaging our core nice straight back or straight as is comfortable. Option 3, pick those feet up and hold. So take your option here. We're going to hold for about 10 seconds. Let's take 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then last thing we'll do here on the mat before we head to some standing postures, we're going to find a reclined pigeon or 4 pose. So we'll start by bringing that right ankle to left knee here. Our feet are hip width distance apart. Option 1, keep it grounded right here. Option 2, we'll pick this up, bringing that left foot up off the mat, hugging this in a little closer. Allowing our feet to replace their spot on the mat. And then we are just going to switch that left ankle to right knee here. Option 1, keep it low. Option 2, pick it up. While we're here, just trying to keep those shoulder blades close to the mat as is comfortable, as well as that small of the back. So there will be natural gaps in both those places, but we just want to really keep that neutral spine as we move through this position. And we'll go ahead and drop that right foot, uncross left. Next, we're going to go ahead and move through a downward dog. So however that's comfortable for you to transition to this position, we can come first through tabletop. You can hug your knees in and rock right up and just move through that tabletop to our downward dog here. But just go ahead and take a moment, find your way into downward dog. And as always, lots of options. We're just going to send those hips to the sky. We can go ahead and find some blocks under the hands, bring that ground a little closer if that's comfortable for us today. And if there's a gap between your heels and the mat, that's perfectly all right. Let's just go ahead and find some pedals here to wake up the hamstrings. So alternating heel to ground, heel to ground. All right, we're gonna step those feet to meet our hands at the top of our mat, finding a forward fold. On an inhale, we're just gonna slow roll vertebrae by vertebrae to a standing position here, bringing our arms overhead. Just find a standing back bend, a nice stretch here. We're going to take a right side bend. Maybe we lace those fingers, stretching through that left side. And then swapping over, left side bend. Let that right side stay long. Take whatever movement feels natural here just to kind of loosen your body up as we transition from that mat to standing. Moving through, this is one option for your little free time here. This is called knocking on heaven's door. So this is just literally spinal rotations, letting those hands kind of knock on your sides as you swing side to side. This is a great movement for keeping our spine nice and fluid. Make sure you bring that neck and your gaze with you if you choose this for your free movement moment. Go ahead and let those hands slow down. And again, just finding a little bit of movement here. Next, we're gonna come through on our left side, some knee raises. So bringing that knee up, swinging it through and kicking our heel up here. We're just gonna repeat this a few times. Staying strong through that right leg. If you need to find a wall for support here, please do. Slowing down on that left side, go ahead and roll those ankles out if you need to. I'm going to swap to that right side. Same deal, pick that knee up high, swing it through and kick that heel back. Might feel different on different sides. Most of us have a strong side or a side stronger than the other. So if you need to find a wall for this one or a chair, any other stability source. And then we're going to find some stillness here for a moment. Making sure our feet are hip width distance apart. We're going to pick that left leg up again. Move through what's called gates. So we're going to pick that knee straight up, open it to the outside, bring it inside, and drop it. So do this at your own pace. If you need to slow this down or this feels too slow, just tweak it to your own. And again, if you need to find a source of stability, please do. Just really working to open through that left hip here. Open, center, close. Open, center, close. Gonna move so you can see this from another view, but we're gonna go to that right leg this time. Same thing. Pick that knee up to the outside, inside, and replace it at your own pace. We're gonna move through some tree poses here, starting on the left side. Option 1, find a baby tree, just lifting that heel up off the ground. Option 2, we can pick that foot up, finding the inside of our calf or inside of our thigh, as long as we're not placing pressure directly against that knee. Option 3, do something funky with those hands. Maybe bring them high like tree branches, or bring them to prayer pose or cactus arms. We're going to go ahead and replace that lifted leg here, swapping to that right side. Again, baby tree for option 1. You can even bring a block under that foot to lift it, but still find support. Option 2, we can pick it up to the inside of that calf or thigh. And option 3, pick our arms up here. Make sure we're staying in line with our breath. Maybe pick a fixed point to let our gaze come heavy. Replacing that right foot to the ground here. We are going to move through the top of our mat here, letting our feet find about hip width distance apart. That left side, we're going to find a baby tree here again. Move that knee inwards and then sweep it back to warrior 1 crescent. So that back left foot, we're high on those toes, strong core, strong front right leg. Maybe we find a twist to that opposite side here, just an option to add another stability element into your practice, totally optional though. Rotating through warrior two, those arms come parallel to the ground. Rotate that back foot so that it is parallel with the short end of your mat. And from here, we'll transition through warrior three. So option one, close that stance here. Let those arms come overhead. Option two, we will teeter through warrior three here, letting that back foot pick completely up. Option three, find a block to hold on to and support yourself here. This is the option I'm going with today. Regardless, strong standing leg, maybe a slight bend in that standing leg as well. And we're going to go ahead and seesaw ourselves back to standing, maybe loosen up those joints. And then we'll move through same thing, right leg. Let's find a baby tree here, just picking that foot up, driving that knee inwards to close that gate. Step it back through warrior one here, strong left leg, right toes are supporting us through the ball of that foot. Arms are overhead. Again, option to find that twist to the opposite side. I'm not going to take that option this time, but you are welcome to. Exhale to rotate through warrior two. Rotate that back foot again, parallel with the short end of our mat. Arms are strong. Gaze is past those front fingertips. And then we will take our warrior three option. Option one, just close that stance gap. Option two, we can hinge forward, standing strong through that left leg. And again, option three, find a block for a little extra support here. You can see that I'm a little teeter-tottery today, so it's all right if you are too. Let's just hold for a few. All right, and coming back to standing here, find some movement if you need it. Take a sip of water like I am. Gonna inhale those arms overhead, find standing back bend. Any other movement here. Exhale, maybe find some shoulder rolls. Then we are going to take that left leg, plant it. Right leg comes to the back of our mat. We're going to find a wide-legged forward fold here. So both those toes point forward or slightly outside. We're just going to bend towards the middle space between our feet. Find forward fold. Option to let opposite hand come to opposite ankle here to just find a little additional stretch here. Kind of take us off balance. Releasing here, slow roll up. We will step together to find mountain pose again. This time that right foot stays. Left foot steps to the outside. We rotate those feet so that they are wider than straight forward. And let's find a forward fold. Again, option to find that opposite hand, opposite ankle situation. And then we will go ahead and slow roll up here. Rotating our feet back into the top of our mat, mountain pose. All right, from here we are going to keep our feet hip width distance apart, sitting back into chair pose. So just sitting back like we are sitting in a chair. Option one, hang out right here. Option two, alternate lifting that heel off the ground. So start that left side, lift the heel. And then right side, lift the heel. Again, this is optional if you're not feeling it today, but does add that kind of balance play. And if you'd like, you can even play around with lifting up on both, off of both heels at once. See how that maybe ignites your practice. We're gonna return to mountain, swan dive to forward fold, plant our hands, step back to plank. You can always drop your knees here and just meet me in seated. Otherwise, we'll exhale to lower, inhale to cobra. Then we are just going to make our way into a seated position, however is most comfortable for you. I'm choosing a tabletop and just sitting through here. Next, we have a different kind of balance. We're going to take that left arm, thread it under our right for eagle arms. If your arms cannot twist all the way so that your palms are touching, that is okay. Just take them as far as is comfortable where you feel a stretch, but no pain here. So this is kind of a balance of the shoulders, of the upper back, sort of a different type of balance. Just hold for a breath. We will untwist here. This time that right side goes under, left is over. Twisting through our eagle arms. I'll show you an alternative perspective so you can kind of see what that looks like. And then we'll release through our arms here. Maybe find some shoulder movement. Taking that left arm again, we're going to drop that hand or forearm beside us, letting that right arm come long overhead. If that forearm to the ground is too intense, just pick it up to that hand or find a generous bend in the elbow. Inhaling through center and pressing off. We're then going to drop that right hand, forearm or hand to the ground. Left arm is long overhead. Moving into supported planks here, we're going to start on that right side. Lots of options here. So option one, we're just going to press ourselves up off the upper body, off the mat. Option two, our lower leg, our knee can stay on the ground to support us. Option three, both knees can lift here. I'm going to stick with option two today. You do what's best. Either way, that shoulder that is meeting the mat should be strong. We're not falling into that shoulder, and that forearm should meet the mat to support us as well here. So just finding a lift in any of these positions of that upper body off the mat here. Strong core, strong back. Go ahead and lower, and we'll switch sides. Again, same options. Option one, let that elbow and shoulder do the work, just the upper body lifts. Option two, the lower knee stays, the upper knee lifts. Option three, both knees lift. Take whatever works for you. Okay, moving back through seated here, we are going to find a little bit of mat work to finish off today's class. Maybe take a moment to recenter. So we're going to find a position on the mat. Our knees are wider than hip width distance, and we're going to move through those windshield wipers. So exhale to drop both knees to one side. Inhale through center and exhale to drop both knees to the opposite side. Take this at your own pace again. kind of giving your lower spine a massage on the mat, but trying to keep those shoulders glued down. And here we're just going to find some knee to chest movement. Go ahead and find some side to side or back and forth rocks if that feels like it will benefit your practice today. And when you are ready, just go ahead and drop those feet. We will find Shavasana here together, a couple moments of rest. Allow yourself to find that stillness we started class with. Return to our breath work. And just take a moment to reflect. I'm going to read a quick piece that I like to end some classes with, just as a nice reminder. It's by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and it goes, "For what it's worth, it's never too late, or in my case, too early to be whoever you want. There's no time limit. Stop whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. You can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. And I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people with a different point of view than yours. And I hope you live a life you're proud of. If you find that you're not, I hope you have the courage to start all over again." Whenever you are ready, and you can stay here as long as you'd like, find a little bit of gentle movement, maybe through the hands and feet, to bring yourself back to reality. And as always, thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. It is my privilege and honor to teach you, if even virtually. I hope you have a great rest of your day.